Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today we are talking about a brand new studio album from Lamb of God entitled Omens, but before we do that, I want to quickly let you know that the Metal Meltdown reached and surpassed 10,000 subscribers earlier this week, and to commemorate this event, we're going live tomorrow, Friday, October 7th at approximately 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to commemorate this occasion in style. I'm going to be all suited up. In fact, I'm picking up my suit from the dry cleaners literally right after this. We're going to drink, share some silly stories. I'll share some behind-the-scenes nonsense, answer any questions you have. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. We're going to hang out. We're going to party. Did I mention it's going to be great and fun? Because it will, and you should totally be there. You're invited, and so are all your friends. Bring everyone down to the Metal Meltdown tomorrow for one hell of a goddamn party. Hi. Hello. How are you? We're doing something very different today. We're outside. It's dark. It's nighttime. Why are we doing this? Long story short, Robert fucked up. That's the best explanation that I have for you. Was that a raccoon? That might have been a raccoon. I was doing some shit on my computer and I lost a bunch of the video and audio for what was originally going to be the album review for Omens, this brand new Lamb of God album. And I didn't really feel like rushing it before I had to go to work tomorrow morning. I just kind of wanted to get it done, get it over with. There's not a lot to say anyway. It's Lamb of God doing what Lamb of God do. Minor spoiler alert, I guess, for my final score. So, yeah, here we go. Just gonna wing it. Outside, this is Metal Meltdown, the late night edition, I guess, featuring local raccoons and stuff. Yeah, no Chompy, but we got Rocket, I guess. Alright, so, yeah, Omens, Lamb of God, album review. This is the 9th studio album from Lamb of God. Technically, they're 11th if you decide to include the Burn the Priest material. I see them as a fun combination of, like, thrash metal, death metal, groove metal, classic metalcore, and hardcore punk. A lot of, like, intricate southern fried riffs, a lot of brutal, bouncy beat down, some very expressive and dynamic vocals from Randy Blythe, who uses a lot of howls and roars and sometimes some spoken word vocals and also sometimes some more traditional melodic hooks and such. His lyrics are also drenched in a very unique and foul kind of piss and vinegar, often also packing a slight politically charged underbite to it. The result is music that is consistently energetic and volatile and provocative and very fun. They're one of the best live bands out there nowadays. That guy's speeding straight the fuck up. They're one of the best live bands out here nowadays. They've been nominated for Grammy Awards. They've toured the world, sold millions of records. They've seen a lot of success. And as a result, you would think that I'd be crazy pumped for this new Lamb of God record. In reality, I've been kind of sort of dreading it. Okay, well, dreading is a strong word, but I haven't been pumped. Partially because Lamb of God are a very repetitive band. I think they've kind of become groove metal's answer to Slayer in that sense. They've kind of just been making the same album over and over again, specifically for the past 10 years or so. I mean, I still love As the Palaces Burn and Ashes of the Wake and Sacrament. And, you know, Resolutions, Thermon-Drang, you know, they're fine records. I'm not talking shit. But they definitely don't have that same impact because, like, it's all just very samey. And then you get to 2020's self-titled album, and honestly, that was just a bore. It really felt like they just phoned in on that bad boy. Like, if we're comparing Lamb of God to Slayer, then it would be fair to say that the self-titled album is something like World Painted Blood, or repentless. Hello, Airplane. Hello, Airplane. How are ya? I will say that Omens is better overall than the self-titled record. It definitely has more spunk and spice and flavor to it. The band tracked this whole thing live, and that definitely makes this feel like really intense. You know, it actually kind of feels like a live album in that sense, like a really polished take on something like Philadelphia. There are some funkier flavors too, which I do appreciate. September Song, for instance, is a 6-minute long NOLA-esque sludge fest of epic proportions. It's bold, it's dynamic, it's powerful, legit kind of a great song. There's also Delusional Mechanism, I believe it's called. I don't have my laptop on me to check, to verify, because I'm outside, but I think that's what it's called. It's a very gnarly piece of like full-on hardcore, but with a Lamb of God coat of paint. It honestly kind of feels like a byproduct of the XX Legion cover album that they released under the Burn the Priest name. A lot of Bad Brains flavor on this bad boy. But aside from that, I mean, it's business as usual for Lamb of God. You know, the same riffs, the same grooves, the same breakdowns, the same everything, really, you know? I mean, tracks like Grayscale, Omens, honestly, they could have been, like, B-sides from the self-titled album. They could have been unused, unreleased tracks from that album, and I wouldn't have questioned it whatsoever. Nevermore is a little more interesting because it has like these kind of like alt metal style clean vocals mixed in with like the typical kind of Lamb of God muscular riffery, you know? It makes for something that is kind of moody and dramatic. Everyone still sounds great too. Like, it kind of blows my mind how much range Randy Blythe has in his screams and in his barks and in his gutturals. Perhaps still one of the best metal vocalists out there. You know, the guitars and the bass are crisp and punchy. I kind of feel bad for Art Cruz because I feel like he's just being told to do what Chris Adler would do on a Lamb of God record. I still don't really feel like he's really part of the gang, and he's really being given a lot of room to create and explore and to contribute. I don't want to suggest he's doing a bad job, because I don't think he is, but it's very clear he's being paid to emulate Chris Adler's style rather than to bring his own style to the table. Yeah, that's really all I got to say. It's Lamb of God doing what they normally do, and it's not really as good as it was in the past, but it's still okay, you know? Like, it's again, going back to the Slayer analogy, it's not exactly Rain and Blood or South of Heaven, but, you know, it's a solid Christ illusion, you know? It's fine, it'll get the job done. I'm feeling a 3 out of 5, leaning towards maybe a 2.5 out of 5. I think if you, like, head over heels are in love with Lamb of God, by which I mean you think that they're the best metal band ever, you're probably going to love this record, and if that's the case, honestly, more fucking power to ya. I end up leaving this record feeling the same way I felt after the self-titled album, you know? I have no real desire to really revisit this. This is definitely, you know, if we were doing a tier list, this would be closer to the bottom. Better than the self-titled record, but not, like, colossally or monumentally so. Yeah, that's all I really got to say, I guess. If you got nothing better to do, check it out, why not? But honestly, you'd be better off re-listening to As the Palaces Burn or Ashes of the Wake, in my opinion. Like, this is fine, it's serviceable, it's decent, 3 to 5, but, you know, it's not exactly a necessary listen, again, unless you are a die-hard, ride or motherfucking die Lamb of God fan, you know? And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I'm not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe right here so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown fucking immediately. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.